Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to this Harry Potter Time Turner video tutorial. And this is the progress that we've made so far, and we're approaching the end of this. It's time now to add some text to this. And there's a couple of challenges here, and I'll show you. I'm going to put text on this ring, and I don't think I'll do the inner ring on video. I might do it on my own and show you that completed, because it would be the same kind of process. If I go into edit mode, you can see that I can select the polys along here, and this is where I'm going to put the text all the way around. But you'll also notice that these chains are in the way, and I don't want my text under there. I want my text sort of in specific areas. I'm going to have a little bit of text right there, and I can use those two polys. And I want a little bit of text right there. I use those. And I also want some text all the way under here. And I can use that all the way up to these. So these structures here are separated relatively nicely. It's just the way it worked out when I made it. But these chains kind of flow underneath the polys. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an edge loop in here. All right, Control R. I'm just going to click that and leave it there, and that's going to separate that area out, and right there, and that works. If I needed to move it, I could select that edge and press GG for edge slide, like that, and that would bring it along, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so with that done, I'm now going to be able to select these polys like that, and then I'm going to come around here. In fact, actually, I think I'm going to isolate that, and then I'm going to come around. Just remember where I was. Okay, and I'm going to skip one. That one is the one I'm going to skip, and then I'm just going to come all the way around and select all these. Think, let's see, I think what I want is maybe not that one. Let's go back for a moment and just have another look. So that's there. Let's go into this again. There we go. So I've skipped that one, I've skipped that one, skipped that one, and skipped that one. Cool, let's go over to UV editing, and let's come over to that, come in, so I've got that. Okay, cool. I'm going to press U, unwrap, and I'm going to get this. Now, I'm going to press this button here, UV sync, and that means that I can select a face here, and I'll see where it is on here, and I'm going to use that feature in just a minute. Okay, now the text, you can do this in any drawing program. I happen to do it in Flash. So here's the text, and I've just separated out the lines. This text here is going to go on the bottom, and it's going to come around. I mark the hours one by one, nor have I yet, and then I yet outrun the sun, right? So that's what I'm going to want to have there. So what I've done is I've created the text in a font that I like, and I'm not too worried about the size exactly. I'm going to bring this in to the UV editing window. So File, Export, Image, and I'll just throw it in here. I'm going to call this Harry Circle Text 1. All right, it's the first circle, and yeah, I'm going to export this as a PNG. All right, I'm overwriting what I had before. The full document size, 24-bit with the alpha channel. It's 1024 by 1024. Okay. So I've got the text now. I'm going to come back to Blender, And over here, I'm going to click open, and I'm going to find that hairy text circle one and bring that in. So there's my text, and there's my UVs. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do now is I am going to organize this stuff. And so I know this is my long band. I'm holding down Shift. I'm in face selection. And that shows me on here what I've got selected as well. Okay. I'm going to take this G, I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to rotate this 90, and we're going to see if that's the right orientation. And I'm going to press G and just roughly line it up right now over that text, just roughly. We'll come back to that in a bit. Then now this, where's that? That's the top stuff. That is I yet outrun. So I'm going to grab that. Bring it over. I'll rotate that 90 as well. Okay, cool. Now what's this part? That's over there. That's I yet outrun. Rotate 90. And then I got this. Okay, there's a start. Right now, all of this is the same height. It's not necessarily positioned at the right place, but okay. Now, with that done, what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the shading editor, and I have got my. Let's go over to object. There's my gold color for this ring. Okay, gold. I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to call this gold text 1. Enough. Now I'm going to come back and choose just gold, if that's for the whole ring, and only on those spaces will I put the gold text 1 where I want text. So on here, right, we'll come around again and we'll do this. Holding down Shift and clicking those spaces, those polys right there. I'm going to hit the plus because I want two materials on this same object, on this gold ring. I want the gold texture and I want this one. So hit the plus, choose gold text 1, and hit the sign. Now, they're both the same right now, but we're going to make a change. Okay. Now, I'm going to use this. All right. This is the same right here as the typical gold text, but here's going to be my image text, hairy text 1 or hairy circle text 1, whatever it was. I'm going to use a texture coordinate UV'd. That's going to be my image for the text itself. And this is how I'm going to connect it. And there's different ways of doing this, and I just found that this gives me the effect I want, and it looks kind of weird, and some people may not like it too much, but we're going to give it a try and see how well it looks. In the end, when I render this, no one's going to see this. They're just going to see the final product, and if it works, it works. So I'm going to start with this stuff, and I'm going to bring in another mix shader and by text, and we'll have to make some adjustments. So this is what we got. So I'm going to stretch that out. I'm going to take this Shift D and put another one right in there. All right. And then we are going to need our image texture. So I'm going to go Shift A, texture, image texture right there. And let's go ahead and we should have it in memory. Hairy circle text 1, I guess it is. And I'm going to press, what do I have to press? Control T. I don't care about the mapping node. I'm just going to bring this in. UV down to the vector. And I'm going to be plugging this into the displacement, but I want to be able to control it a bit. So I'm going to use a math multiply. Math. I'm going to change this to multiply. And let's see what I'm going to do here. All right. I'm going to bring the alpha of the texture into the value. I'm going to bring this into the displacement, but it's going to go nuts. So I'm going to change the value down to a really small amount. The alpha is also going to go to the FAC, and the color is going to go to the bottom shader. So let's do that right now. So the alpha is going to go to the FAC here. The color is going to go to the bottom shader, and the alpha is also going to go to this top value here. And this is going to go into the displacement. Let's just leave it like that for the moment. Now you see we're starting to get something here. Okay, so I'm going to adjust. I'm going to try 0.00. I'll try 0.002. I like this text like this. So I'm just going to bring it down by another one, 0.001. And I find that that works pretty nicely. Now, what I'm going to do is just isolate that, Shift H. And then I just have to decide if I, now, you can see that, what did I do here? Let's just press one. The text is a bit small, so let's try messing with that. So I'll just we'll go back to UV editing. Okay. So let's try this. Let's select everything. No, let's straighten this out a little bit. Let's do that first and bring that over. And we'll look at this bottom one maybe first. I'm going to hit B to box or border select. Okay, zoom in. I'm going to press GY, and I'm just going to center that out a little bit. You can see the text moving, so you can do stuff like that. Take this one. It's pretty good. GY. Now, let's try this and see how this looks. Let's go SY. Scale it in like this. And I'll get larger text. It's GY. Let's go back and bring everything back and see. I don't really like the position of that. I feel like it's gone down a little bit too much. I feel like it should be more central. Yeah, and that's what happens. So I'm just going to go GY. That's pretty good. Okay, so this stuff here should be yet outrun. Have I yet outrun? It should be nor have. So those ones are in the wrong place. So I'm just going to go GY. This GY. I believe should be right there. And this GY. Nor have I. Now, this stuff is backwards, I believe. I believe it should be flipped around. Didn't work. Alright, you see the way I can slide that along? So I want my text in that orientation, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'll change all of those so that it faces backwards. You can see that if I scale this in the X, I change the size of the text a little bit. If I want this to fit better, I could do that. I scale this in the X. I could do something like that. The problem is it doesn't exactly match this text. So that's just one of the GX. That's one of the problems of doing it this way. It may not look that bad, but I'm not sure I'm crazy about that. I could do that. In fact, I think I will do that. I'm going to work on that a bit more, and I'm going to do the same for all of them. In fact, I'm going to back out of that, and I'm going to select, I'm going to fix that one first, then I'm going to scale all of them. Alright, they're all facing the direction that I want. I'm going to select all these pieces and we'll try scaling it together, seeing if I can get it to fit, and just a little bit wider, longer, whatever. In fact, let's just focus on that again. Alright, so let's SX. This one's a little bit off, but we'll just want to have a look at that. All right, let's deselect and take this GX. It's just a question of positioning, and we'll see. Let's see if anything's blocked. Alright, I scaled this one, looks different than this. So let's come back in. Let's scale these. Nor have. Okay, that looks okay. It's not quite. Maybe I'll work on this in here. Maybe that's looking a little stretched in comparison. So I'm going to SX, make it a little bit smaller. Let's see, how's the sun doing? Let's scale this in the X, GX. You just get it to look as close as you can. And underneath that part, this here, yeah, we're going to adjust this right here. Okay. So let's SX. Not bad. Maybe. Let's see. Well, you get the idea. Let's go back to modeling. Let's save that. Let's bring everything back. All right, so here's a view of the text. You can see, nor have I yet outrun. I'll have another look. Let's go right from there. So we see a little bit of this text. You could stretch this out if you wanted to. Let's just try that. We can see I mark the hours, and we can see the sun there. A little bit of text there. You might want to have this a little bit less pronounced if you didn't want it pushing out that much. And that's the basic idea. All right, just one more view without the base showing. We got some text here, and we got some text there. So that's basically how you could go about doing the text there, and then I would probably just repeat the same process for the inner ring. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'll leave it like that. That was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that, and hope to see you next time.